Welcome to Sipping with Maria and Tika Gee. We got to pay these bills, so let go. Here's a word from our sponsors. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosted on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free.
Whoop whoop!
Boop! Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Today. Welcome to Sipping with Maria and Tika Gee, where we do not talk about politics, religion, or celebrities. We feel like there's enough blogs, and other podcasts that talk about that stuff. Here we talk about everyday issues. Welcome to Season 1. Season 1 is about relationships, and we're not just talking about regular relationships. We're talking about all types of relationships, the in-law relationships, brother and sister relationships, step-parent relationships. The list goes on and on and on. Last week, our topic was, should a person defend his or her partner against insults from their family? And the answers that we got from that, once again, as always, was great. You know, you're not only defending your partner. When it comes to things like that, you're defending your friend. For example, we had a conversation where if I invite you somewhere and you feel uncomfortable or somebody try to come at you and disrespect you, because I am there with you, because you are there as my guest, I am going to defend you. And we had other conversations as well. This week, our question is the relationship is over after a failed proposal? Why or why not? Now, before we get into that conversation, I do want to acknowledge that it is Black History Month. And so let's talk about Mr. Lonnie Johnson. Who is Mr. Lonnie Johnson? Mr. Lonnie Johnson is an American inventor. He was an aerospace engineer. He's also an entrepreneur. His work also includes the U.S. Air Force term of service and a 12-year stint at the NASA, where he worked in the laboratory. Who is Lonnie Johnson, you ask? I'm about to make y'all laugh. He invented the Super Soaker, the Nerf blaster. Yep, he did. Thank you, Lonnie Johnson, because that's one of my favorite toys I like to play with. So, back to our topic. Is the relationship over after a failed proposal? Why or why not? And as usual, y'all know Tika do the question thing. So we're going to go ahead and pass it to Tika. Tika, what were your answers that you received about this question? Is the relationship over after a failed proposal? Why or why not?
Hey, I did have answers to the question. I would say that some people did say yes. It was about 50-50 male and female saying yes, the relationship is over. With that particular, just simply saying yes, it's over, it's a done deal. There's no other further discussion about it. Now, I would say quite a few people, as far as men and women, said, if you're not talking about, if you're in a relationship and you're not talking about, your intentions and where the relationship is going, well then why would you be I guess they were trying to say, why would the proposal be such a surprise? Like, if you both know where the relationship is going and you guys have had a discussion, well then the answer should be a yes. If you guys both are under the impression that you're dating to marry, which they're saying most people are doing. So, I guess they were like, what, I mean, if you're not communicating, that's where the fail of the proposal comes from. So
now now what happens? Okay, when it comes to this question, this is a very what's the word? Strong question because it goes to why would I want to continue to date somebody that I asked to marry me or they asked me to marry them and I turned them down, or maybe or the reason for being turning them down because you're just not ready. Like in my situations, I know I'm in my 40s, I'm in my mid 40s, and I'm just not I'm not ready. And my boyfriend has asked me several times and I have told him no each time, but we are still in a relationship, you know? So I guess it depends on who it is. If you have had this conversation, for example, the guy that I'm with, we were together 14 years ago and we came back and bam, we just picked off where we left off as if we worked together for 14 years. You understand what I'm saying? So I guess it depends on the situation or who it is. When we did get back together, I did lay everything down on the line and it was different because I'm not the same person I was 14, 15 years ago. So I explained that to him and he accepted it. So he knows that, well, she don't want to be married. She's cool just with being in a committed relationship. However, every now and then he does bring up the marriage thing. And when we get married, I don't break his spirits or anything and be like, that's not going to happen. You know, I go along with it. So this is, again, one of those questions that I feel that there's not a right or wrong answer to this question. It depends on the situation and I guess the communication. You know, if you already told that person, you know, I'm good. I'm not. What is marriage anymore? People don't even get married because they love someone anymore. People are doing it for convenience, for benefit. Oh, I'm homeless. I met this guy. He digging me. You know what I'm saying? He want to be with me. Convenience. I'm not attracted to him at all. Convenience. I'm homeless. I need a place to stay, and he wants to be with me. So I have a choice. Do I want to be homeless, or I'm gonna go ahead and marry this dude, be with this dude, so I can have a roof over my head? So I guess it depends on the situation.
Yeah, it does depend on the situation. And I do know some people that have been in the homeless situation and ended up marrying somebody, and whether it be a woman that was considered homeless and it ended up marrying somebody out of convenience, or what nowadays in time what I'm running into is mostly men that are homeless, so that are out here seeking someone. And if you guys didn't know, my full-time life, I am a counselor. There was the reason I have it's a very strong thing with this woman said that she calls it the trash bag mentality, and didn't realize that the person she was dating pretty much was carrying around what she called a trash bag. I guess it was a suitcase, but he was looking for women to stay with. So yeah, that it does depend on what you want to do. But I guess the people that were saying it should be a communication, the people that actually know what marriage is, because some people don't even know what marriage is, and I have a understanding of that too. I mean, some people just don't, and it could be some people's upbringing too, and the way they were raised. They just do not understand what a marriage is. So that's a whole different story. But they said if you're not having the conversation with someone, like they said, most people are with someone to marry them, or dating to marry. Well, then why was it a failed proposal, because you guys should constantly be having that conversation. Okay, this is what we do. We're going to get married. This is our finances. This is what we're doing. This is what we're laying on the table. And it shouldn't be if you're doing it right with communication wise, it shouldn't be not to be a failed proposal.
But what happens when you're in a situation, let's say for example, I'm dating Jack, and me and Jack have been dating for 5 years. I'm sorry, me and Jack has been dating for like 15 years, and I've been waiting for this proposal for a very, very long time. Now, I don't know Jack is gonna propose to me. You understand what I'm saying? But in my mind, we've been together 15 years. It's not gonna happen. This is what I want. I want to be married. So it's time. I'm in the transition stage when I'm about to move on. What I mean about that is we've been together since we've been in middle school, on and off, whatever the case may be. However, this last time we have been together for like, let's say 7 years. Excuse me. We've been living together for 7 years. We've been dating for 15. You understand what I'm saying? So, with that being said, you think I should know this person already, what they like, what they don't like. We can go ahead and move forward. Now, again, we've been together for 7 years, but been knowing each other for 15. Okay. Now, let's just say I'm one of those women that's my dream. I'm gonna get married. I want to have the white picket fence. I want to have a little churn. I want to have my little dog. I want to have all of that. Now, again, the key thing is we've been together all together for 15 years. Okay. We've only been married for 7 years. Okay. So, been together 15 years. Been together 15 years. Have not been married yet. Okay. Altogether, we've been together 15 years. Now, I'm starting to feel some type of way because I haven't invested all of my time into you. And it's been 15 years that we have been together all together. And you have not asked me this question, or for whatever the situation is. So now, when you do ask me to marry you, I say no. I said no because most likely he or she has already seen somebody else and have seen what they are really looking for, that proposal, quote unquote, from somebody else, because I've been with you for 15 years and now you want to marry me, or for whatever the case may be of what you're going through. So I guess, again, when it comes to that question, is the relationship over after a failed proposal? Once again, I feel that there is no wrong or right answer to this question because everybody's situation is different.
Yeah, every situation is different, and I can see someone sitting down and talking about it and saying, this is why I'm choosing not to marry you, and explaining that. And then if they decide to be, I guess, quote unquote, together, after that, but then that would really depend on, what they discussed. And I think that when I had polled the audience, and when a lot of the people they straight up said the relationship is over, and that was their answer. And I, of course, respect that. If it's over, it's over. If you propose to somebody and they say no, and those people that I polled, they were just like, it's absolutely over. And I was just like, okay, I understand that too. They said, I don't. They're like, I don't want to be a part of, a situation where I said no, because obviously it was a no for a reason. So they're like, it's just this one woman was saying it would just all feel awkward and she was not. I mean, I don't know if she had a personal experience with it, but she was just very, very opposed to it. So I do believe that. And then I guess sometimes when people have the grand proposals, it could come with, and men have egos and things like that. It could come with a large amount of embarrassment. Some, some people do it big, and then the people and the people that are there are like, oh man, she said no, or he, So
What
I
happened if
could
it's bad
imagine.
timing? Like, what if it's bad timing? Say, for example, my boyfriend asked me to marry him, and he asked me the same day that my boss told me that I would have to go to Hawaii for 6 months for a job. It's just bad timing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So when it comes to that, I won't necessarily call it a quote unquote failed proposal. Let's just say it's just bad timing, because now I'm going to be in Hawaii for 6 months. Now, you have significant others or partners that, oh, I'll go with you, for 6 months. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. But then you have others that be like, well, I'm not going to leave my job for 6 months, and then we have to come back and find a place to live all over again. How about I'll just stay here in Virginia while you're in Hawaii, okay, for 6 months working. You see where I'm going with that?
Right.
So now you're in Hawaii for 6 months. I'm in Virginia for 6 months. You already asked me to marry you. I didn't say no. I just said I have to go to Hawaii for 6 months to work, which means you're not going to see me for 6 months unless my job put me, allow me to come every now and then to visit. So I think timing has a lot to do with when you propose. And the number one thing that we keep bringing up is communications. If you don't communicate, then how am I supposed to know that red is not your favorite color,
Yeah. And yeah, it does go along with a large amount of communication. And if you don't communicate and knowing what the person wants, and be honest with what you want in the, because I've run into a lot of that too. As time goes on, you have either work acquaintances, some people at work that or you people that you went to school with, or things like that, and you start to get people's stories, and you start to learn about life and what people are going through behind closed doors. And there are situations where I've heard that people have never talked about it, and then they're wondering why, why won't he or she, why won't they get married? And then I've had to learn about situations where people have informed me and said, what, I told the person straight up on the first day of us going on a date that I would never get married. So at that point, it's up to that person whether either they're gonna listen or they're not. And or I would never propose to anyone. And a lot of people, when they say that, they mean it. And so when a person, I guess, is with someone for so long and they're like, oh man, it's been all these years and they have not proposed yet. Well, they still have to go back and think, wait a minute, on that first date, they told me that they would never propose. Is this something that I even want? Because so there's just so many different um scenarios. You do have to listen to the other person. You can't always listen to what you want. You do have to listen to the other person too, and understand. You guys have to have an understanding of each other. It can't just be one-sided, because that just doesn't work.
And I agree with that. But what happens when you, let's say, things change? I don't want to put my business out there like that, but things change. And at first, yeah, I was all hawky-dory. But what happens after the proposal? Not necessarily meaning it's a failed proposal. Let's just say I said yes. Okay?
Uh-huh.
We already been together for 15 years, right? How
Right.
long am I supposed to be your fiance before we get married? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I know somebody right now has been. I know somebody right now has been a fiance for 10 years.
I wish our mother effing would. Let me tell you something. Straight the F up. I'm not being a fiance for longer than 2 years.
Right.
And I still feel 2 years is too long. So, because I'm a fiance. It's going to take me about a year if you want a wedding. Let's rewind. All jokes aside, straight up, I'm being honest. You asked me to marry you on Monday at 10:15. If you want to marry me, you're willing to marry me right then and there. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Dress as a piece clothes at 5. Will you marry me? Yep. Dress a piece clothes at 5. Let's go get married. If you're not willing to marry me right then and there, then you're not really trying to marry me. Now you're just asking me to marry you because you don't want me to be with nobody else and you're just stringing me along. But if you really want to be with me, and I say, yeah, let's go get married right now. You don't want to plan? Nope. Let's go right now. So, again, this question is one of those questions. There's no wrong or right answers. It depends on the person. It depends on the situation. It depends on if you have what everybody is talking about, quote unquote, communication. You have to have that communication. I feel that if you do have that communication, you will know if that significant other is going to say yes or no when you propose to them.
Yes, you would know. And I do believe that some people kind of put a deaf ear to things, or they become blind to things, or they say maybe this person would change their mind, or maybe this person, I'm waiting for that proposal, or because you guys are constantly looking at each other, and saying, is this what I really want? And and if a person says no, well then, like you said, it could be timing, or it could be saying this is not what I really want. But I think that being honest is key, and if a person says no,
I agree.
That is really being honest. I mean, that is really just putting yourself, and it is not to embarrass the person. It is saying, look, I'm being honest in this moment right now. I don't want to marry you. It's bad timing, or look, we need to, figure out some other things. I don't think this proposal is what's up right now. And for the people that said it would just totally end, I do I understand. And of course, those people are more than free to move on and see what else is out there, and say, it will be someone out here that will accept my proposal on that first go round. Some people just say you're not gonna get another proposal after that first one. And
Well,
like I
let's
said, it could go along with attitude and ego too. Saying what you gonna deny me?
but right,
And I mean
that
it
too. But
could
I'm
be,
saying,
you know.
if you already been dealing with this person, obviously you've been doing well. I'm gonna take that back because some people get proposed to the next day. If you propose to this person, I feel like you propose to this person uh where you feel like this person is the right one for you. They turned you down, so now you're in your feelings. Me personally, if I was to flip the script and propose to my dude and he tell me no, will I feel some type of way? Yes and no. And I'm gonna say I'm not gonna explain my answer, but he definitely listens to the podcast. So it's a
I
yes.
mean,
It's a yes and no answer to that. So this is one of those questions, things that make you go, like,
hmm,
why would I want to continue to date somebody who told me no when I asked him to marry them? But why would I be embarrassed if it was privately? You understand what I'm saying? Like, now if I did it to a whole bunch of people and you'd be like, in front
yeah,
of everybody.
I told you, a little while ago. I said it could depend on embarrassment as well. Some people have these grand proposals, and it is embarrassing. You go through all the stops, and a person says no. You got this big blimp flying in the sky, and you are down on one knee in Times Square. And yeah, I mean that's embarrassing. And
But
some people cannot deal with embarrassment.
but what if they
And
say
so,
yes in front of everybody in Times Square to keep from embarrassing you? And then when y'all get behind closed doors, they tell you the real tea. Then what? Like, I only said yes because I didn't want you to be
I would
embarrassed.
still be embarrassed because nowadays in time with all this social media and stuff, I'm recording all this. And I'm like, she or he or whoever said yes,
That
and
and when
I have
social media goes
and I
wrong,
have posted it and all over the place, and people are already doing their congrats, saying I knew it, guys, I'm gonna be there at your wedding,
well, I
yeah.
would say if
So
I was a guy or gal, and well, I am a gal, but let's say I'm gonna put myself in a man's shoes, and I propose to my gal, and she accepts my proposal, and she tells me behind closed doors, well, blah blah blah. This is the reason. Me personally, I'm not posting nothing unless we together. I'm holding my ring and she holding hers too. I'm not gonna tell nobody I'm engaged. First of all, that's just me personally. They will get the final post when we get married. They don't need to know I'm
yeah,
engaged.
but most people now is like everything is posted. They're
Yeah,
up brushing they're up brushing their teeth posting that. I mean,
right, because
so it's
everybody trying to go viral now.
yeah, so it most likely is posted, and it's like she said yes or he said yes, and just embracing each other, and then people are already responding and
Mm-hmm.
saying, you know what, I knew you guys would do it, can't wait for the wedding, and so, and then you come back to reality and say, well, uh you know never mind, the proposal is off, so it's,
Mm-hmm.
you have to, you gotta think about that. We live in this age where things are just, people are making anything public.
And
uh
you're right. And that's one of the things I don't like about social media. Like, oh, I actually met someone. I'm about to go in the refrigerator and get me a soda. Then they take a picture of the refrigerator, what kind of soda they got,
yeah,
what flavor you think I should get. Like, are you freaking serious?
yeah, it has gotten that bad now. So with these some proposals could really break someone's heart, and they just say, well, this person straight up said no. And and so and it really causes, I guess, a level of embarrassment. So I think that, when people are like, nope, 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 would not keep pursuing that relationship, that I think that's what it comes from. Level of embarrassment and a level of, wow, this person really said no to me.
And then that's I guess that's what made people cold, because I feel like I've been with you for 15 years. I have invested 15 years into this relationship, and I'd be daggone if I'm gonna let somebody else come enjoy all this training that I have put into for 15 years. So I guess, again, it depends on who the person is, the situation, or when you propose to and who you turn to him or her down in front of. I'm to the point where if this relationship, the second go around, fails, I'm done. I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life. I'm good. I don't need to be married. To me personally, I feel like no one marries for love anymore. It's just a piece of paper. You just marry for benefit. Oh, I'm going to marry him because it benefits me. He got benefits. It's not love. Oh, you don't love this person. Oh, well, I can grow to love them. I don't have time for that.
Yeah. So but like I said, some people just don't know what marriage is. And that's why, I guess, you see the divorce rate at what it is now. But some people just don't know it's exactly what it is. And or a lot of women that I have to talk to and say I'm not someone's mother. I am a mother, but I'm not going to be a mother to a person that I'm in a relationship with. Like, that's like disgusting. I'm not. They're like, making me feel like I'm with
your child,
one of my kids. Yeah, they're like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, right.
So, and so they're like, if you can't have.
That's how I feel about that word poppy. That's how I feel about calling I'm not calling my man no poppy or daddy. What the fuck?
Poppy.
I feel some type of way about that. I'm not calling you daddy. The hell? Ew, that's gross.
So it's just kind of like, and I've been running into that a lot with women freeing. Well, that's how they say it to me. Freeing myself, because this is a time where women, especially, are considering a lot of things in their life, so they're having these freeing moments of what as they're telling me, and saying, I have freed myself of this man that doesn't have anything of his own. So like they, like some women have told me that they've sent the man back to their sisters, sent the man back to their mother's house. They're like, I can't be with somebody who has never had the sense enough to have his own things. And so like these women, I guess the women are saying, I don't want to carry anybody on my back.
I get it.
They're like I'm not a slave. I'm not going to carry a sack on my back no, I'm just not going to do it.
But
so and I understand, and so then that's where some women are telling me, hey, I'm not going to get married because I honestly have not found anyone that's marriage material. I said, wow, that's good right there. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
I get it. And then again, it goes to where excuse me, I'm over the marriage thing. If it happens, it happens. But I don't I don't see me marrying anyone anytime soon. It's just something that it's just not the same anymore. I don't want to marry you because I'm in an effed up situation and I know marrying you would take me out that situation. I don't want to use anybody because I don't want you to use me.
Correct.
So, and then I don't want to find no, and I don't want to be with nobody who's be struggling all their life. I'm over that. I done that. I done did that. I don't want to struggle no more. I'm good.
Correct.
However, I do want to be with someone who does understand the struggle. Now, there's a difference between struggling and understanding the struggle.
Yes.
I'd rather be with somebody who understands the struggle rather than being with somebody who's been fed a silver spoon all them lives. I want to be with somebody that can make a meal out of a pack of hot dogs. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to be with somebody that be like, oh, all we got is a pack of hot dogs and oodles and noodles. Let me call my parents. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Nah, I want you to make $1 out of 15 cents.
Exactly.
Because you understand the struggle. So I take all of that in consideration. So you have to understand the struggle. I cannot be with nobody who don't understand the struggle. I can't. I think it's too easy. I can't be with nobody who all they got to do is call mommy and daddy and everything is going to be all right. No. I want you to prove to me if shit go left, you gonna make it right. Period.
Correct.
So all of that is taken in consideration when it comes to proposals and whether you say yes or no or I don't know. It's a complicated situation.
Yeah, I totally get that.
So this is one of those questions I think we may have to get a follow-up question to see what everybody have to say. It's a very good question. You know, why would you want to continue to be with somebody after a failed proposal? Or why not be with somebody after a failed proposal? I guess you already know how they feel. So I didn't ask you one time. We've been together 15 years. And I asked you to marry me and you like, no, I'm not going to ask you anymore. So don't get mad if we together 15 more years and you ain't got no ring on your face. You know? So.
Well, and I have to think about my failed proposals, and I'm not with those people. So I mean, I said no, and I'm not with them. So that was just it, I guess. In my case, that was just it. I did say no.
But my thing is, if you love me, you're willing to wait, right? So me telling you no, it's not saying no, I'm not going to marry you. It's just saying I don't want to do it right now, and I don't want to be a fiance.
Yeah,
and I don't want to.
That is an end point. That is an end, and so I totally get it what those people were saying because I said no, and and I was, it was over from that point. So I don't. It's like it was definitely over. So I don't. I guess I understand what they were saying with that, but I was on the other end. I was the one that received a proposal, and I said no. And they were different guys, different personalities, and they all made their exit. They were like, you know what? You said no, I'm out. So,
but and that's what I'm saying. If you are able to just leave me that easy, Why were you asking me to marry you anyway? Was it for security for you? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you asked me to marry you and I told you no, you didn't ask me why. You just said the relationship was over. So in my opinion, you weren't marrying me because you loved me or you wanted to be with me. It was, you had a hidden agenda. Because if you can just
well,
walk
I guess in one case, I think it was just to keep me, and in another case, I just think that the ego was there, and when a person has an issue with being told no, some people don't know that reality is that you will be told no on many occasions. But some people cannot handle that in life. They be like, I was told no.
Mm-hmm.
What? And they just have their temper tantrum, no matter how old they are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what some of the stuff comes from too. So
that's one of the, it's just hard, I guess, to really answer this question.
Yeah, but like you said, it's not a real, it's several different answers, and the circumstances surrounding each answer, is different. But, I mean, I do think that we did cover a lot of the answers, and I thank the people that did answer the question, because I do understand, all of your answers. But you have to have an understanding of who you're with and who you're dealing with in that relationship. Because
Right.
some people have stayed together and said, we're going to work on some things, and then let's revisit the marriage, proposal and things like that. But like, hey, boo, we got a few things to work on here. Let's just not jump up with this. I want you guys to see my ring. And to me,
Right.
that's, maturity as well. That you're mature enough to say, hey, I don't have to show everybody this big rock on my finger. I could go without the big rock and work on some things and rock the rock later. So, it goes with maturity too, And
Right.
reality is, some people are just not ready and they're not at that point. So.
And most of the people, most of the time, I feel like those who say yes sometimes just, especially ones that's been engaged for like double-digit years, they just got engaged just to say they got somebody.
Right.
Just to say they have somebody. Well, we engaged, girl. Y'all been engaged since middle school.
Right.
Y'all ain't married yet. Sheesh. And I guess to each his own. So I guess again to this question, no wrong or right answer to this question. It depends on the situation. It depends on who it is, and the person, but it's just not the same. It's really not. It's not the same when it comes to marriage. And I guess I have a wall up, and I feel like if you asking me to marry you, it's not genuine. You have a hidden agenda. So that's just me personally. It may not be that. That may not be the case. I may just be paranoid. Or overcautious.
Yeah, overcautious, or like I said, a lot of things are circumstance driven, or your background driven, in your own individual thoughts. So I do believe that it does depend on each individual, and I just have an understanding that Yeah, sometimes guys may put yourself out there and you would get rejected, or some women may put themselves out there and get on that knee and they get rejected. I mean, it's just,
Well,
you
I
know, it,
know back in my era, that was the end thing. That was your goal to get married, get married. I guess so you wouldn't be lonely, be by yourself.
correct.
I don't know. I just, I watch too much TV. Because the things I see on TV with these people in these marriages and stuff, I'd be like, girl, no, couldn't have been me. And he would not be walking, not never again. So I get it. I get it. Well, listeners, we'd like to thank you for listening. We hate to cut it short tonight. It's just one of those days. It's a topic that me personally, I can't relate to it. I have told someone no, but we are still together, so I can't relate to the failed proposal situation. However, Tika did share her experience on how she told the